Hello everyone, I am Deepak Unyal and I welcome you to this series of tutorials where we are going to talk about placement preparation for computer science and engineering students. Okay, so we have discussed everything that we are going to discuss in this series in our first video. It was just a summary of all the things, but things might be deviated a little bit. Okay, so don't worry about that. So let's start this series of tutorial officially with this first very interesting and important topic, and the topic is process of conversion from source file to executable file. Suppose we have a C or C++ file. So what happens in that process? You first start creating a source file, right? And then you compile that program. If you are on a Linux system, you basically start a command gcc and then name of file. If it is hello.c, you write gcc hello.c. If it is a C++ program, you generally write g++ hello.cc. Okay. So after that, when you enter, this file is compiled successfully if there is no error, and you get a executable file. After that, you just enter /, and if file name is a.out, you write that, and that program is loaded into the memory. This process looks very simple, but it's not that simple. There are a lot of things that are going behind that. And what happens? There are a lot of processes. I am going to discuss all these things in detail, but here in this tutorial I am going to talk about these things briefly so that you can understand from the next lecture what are detail or what are depth of this topic. Okay, so this is very important topic and you should know about this. So first thing what we do, we create a file, whether it's a C file or C++ file with the extension of hello.c or hello.cpp, whatever extension you want to choose, right? So once this source file is created, there is another process that happens after it. I will show all these processes. You have a control of all these things if you are working with Linux. In Windows you might not have all those control. I have not worked much with that, but if you want to see all these things, I suggest you to either get a compiler that works like a Linux system or work on a Linux system, right? So what we are going to do, the next step we are going to see here is pre-processing step. So basically the file that is hello.c or hello.cpp, that is converted into another mode, that is converted into another extension, and that is called hello.ii, right? So I am going to show you all those things practically. Don't worry if you are not getting this thing. I will keep running the program while speaking and you will understand everything. Okay. So once this pre-processing is done, there is a compilation phase after that. Although we say that whole process is compilation, but there is a compilation phase in between also. So what that compilation phase does, it basically converts that hello.ii file or hello.i file to the hello.s file. So basically compiler is converting from one extension to another extension, right? What happens inside this process, we will talk about this later, but you should first understand about these file extension and the way program is running from starting to the ending. Okay. After that, assembly phase is there. So what happens in assembly phase? There is a file hello.i and that is converted into hello.o file, and what that assembler does, it basically creates relocatable object code, right? And then there is another step after that, and it's of linker. And what linker does, it basically combine all the relocatable objects and creates a executable file. If you are on Linux, you will see that there is a file created called a.out. You can also change the name of that file, but by default if you look at that file, it's a.out file, and that is machine level code or machine language. Okay. After assembly language, you will see hello.o, that is similar to a.out, but there are few things that are missing in that file. So after linking all the files that are remaining, you get a.out, that is executable file, right? So once you are done with that, another process is loading. So when you write /a.out, you basically load your program into the memory, or we can say you load your program into the RAM. Okay. So basically all the files like source file and executable file, they all are lying in the hard disk, but when you start executing that program, that goes to memory, okay, or we can say that when you start running or loading that program into memory, that goes to RAM, okay. So who loads that program into the memory? Your cell basically loads that program into the memory and start executing that program. So this is the process in brief. Clear? So now what we are going to do in next video, we are going to see through all these steps one by one in more detail and more depth, so that you can understand what exactly a program is doing and how a program is doing, okay. So this was brief introduction of compilation phases. So we are not done yet, we need to discuss all these things in detail, that we are going to discuss in next lecture. If you have any doubt or query regarding any of these things till now, you can just write your query in the comment and I will try to answer back as soon as possible, okay. So we will keep discussing few interesting things in upcoming lectures, okay. So I think I am done with this tutorial now. If you like this video, please subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. See you in the next video with some new concept. Till then, thank you so much. Bye bye.